And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very special presentation of the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network, where today we will celebrate our great football season as we get ready to head to Winter on Friday night to battle the #1 ranked Winter Warriors. The story of this St. Thomas More football season is amazing. It began in the heat and humidity in East River in August with a pair of losses. But since, St. Thomas More has set the standard of greatness on the gridiron, winning every game they've played in September, every game they have played in October, and recording a streak of 5 consecutive shutouts. But yet, there are still people who question, can this Cavalier team go all the way or make it to the Dome? They get to prove that on the field in front of the largest audience in the history of the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network, and hundreds of fans, including many taking a Spirit bus on Friday, as we get set to bring you a big event. We have an extravaganza for you today that we think you're really going to enjoy. In fact, we hope it's so much fun you choose to watch this on our YouTube channel multiple times. We're going to have our birthday man of the moment, our head coach Austin Hagen, with us later in the show. We're going to be talking to our 3 seniors who have set a great example and standard of leadership, Dawson Inhofer, Reeve Ross, and Gabe Reeve. And as a special guest today, we have Chief Banking Officer from Security First Bank, Mrs. Marnie Herman, with us today. And we have a cheer team that finished 3rd in the state of South Dakota in the small squad division. We have the seniors from the cheer team with us, and we have their great coach, Tracy Stamper, here. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to feel the Cavalier pride. You're going to feel the spirit, and you're going to receive analysis that you would receive nowhere else as we bring you today's special Final Four big game preview, St. Thomas More versus Winter. My name is Mike Fell, and let's now go ahead and bring up our senior leaders, Gabe Reeve, Dawson Inhofer, and Reeve Ross. And I'm going to have you guys go ahead and sit to the right of me, and we'll take turns here with our headset. And I almost feel like I'm supposed to start with you, Gabe, because last night before the Lady Cavaliers volleyball team began their sweep over Lead Deadwood, you were one of a couple singers that sang the national anthem, and I thought that you did a fine job with that national anthem. I think we need to move the table a little closer to where we're going to do the show. Just had a little bit of a mishap. That's never happened before. Are we okay, Braden? Well, Gabe, let's talk football for a moment. So we had last night, what we had last week in Mount Vernon was something that is often a possibility, but you hardly ever see happen. A team is down 9 points midway through the 4th quarter, 2 scores on the road, everything on the line. You guys found a way to get it done. Talk about that comeback.
I think it was really just everyone. It was from the first snap after we went down 9 points. Everyone believed in each other and was playing for the man next to them. I remember a few of the juniors saying, "Play for your seniors. The game's not over yet," and that meant a lot to me, and I believe to the other 2 seniors, was that we were down 9. We were playing for each other. We started moving the rock, throwing it, and from there, marched down, scored once. We knew we needed a big defensive stop. Everyone, again, playing for the man next to them, playing their hearts out. We got that stop, and Noah just tucking the ball, keeping control, and throwing it downfield when it was needed. We managed to get 2 touchdowns that put us in the lead, and inevitably we won the game.
So I talked to you after the game last night. We're talking about Noah. I mean, to me, it's like watching Joe Burrow operate but he's a freshman. I can't believe what I see from Noah.
Yeah, he just has he has a really high football IQ, especially from a freshman. I mean, he knows when to throw the deep ball, when to throw his outs, his unders, when to get the ball out of his hands, and then when to tuck it and take it for a run. We had no designed runs on our last 2 drives, but we had a few run plays when Noah decided to tuck the ball, keep it for himself when there was nothing quite open. He didn't force anything those last 2 drives, and I showed up. We put 2 touchdowns on the board.
The pride of being a lineman, it's got to be just absolutely incredible in the fourth quarter when you're getting off the line of scrimmage, you're locking down your opponent, and you're setting up a play, whether it's giving more time for Noah to look downfield to throw to the man next to you and Reeve Ross, or whether it's just, setting him up so he can find room to run. Talk about what it's like in the fourth quarter as an offensive lineman in a game like that.
As an offensive lineman, just in the fourth quarter, you're dog tired. I mean, every play has been in the trenches, whether it's trying to get the first 2 yards for Dawson or just protect Noah's blind side. In the fourth quarter, I'm just really focused on, especially if we're in a passing situation, really protecting Noah and finishing my blocks. Noah did need a little bit more time in the last few drives, and with that, he would roll out, and just making sure that I keep blocking until I know that the ball is downfield and Noah's good, because if he's going to roll out the pocket and run upfield for a few yards, he just needs all the time that he can get, and he doesn't need to get hit from behind from a defensive end.
We're talking with Gabe Reeve, one of the 3 seniors on this Cavalier football team, 8-2, champions of the Black Hills Conference, winners of the conference title 11 years out of the last 12. So, Gabe, last question I have for you before we bring in Gabe and Reeve and Dawson, and that question is, you hear things that spread around the area. I think there's some people that think that they're going to be able to run on the D-line. You get a chance to answer that on Friday.
We're preparing for them. We're preparing the right way. We've seen run teams. Mount Vernon Plakington only had 16 pass yards against us last weekend. Yeah, and 146 rushing. 346 rushing. They were a run-heavy team. We've seen run-heavy teams, and we're ready to battle. I don't know if Winter has quite seen a pass attack like ours. I think we've seen Mount Vernon Plakington a run-heavy team, and I think we'll be able to combat it, stop the run, and really pass downfield and put up a lot of points this next weekend.
Is this the kind of big game environment as a football player you just kind of feel like you're living for here? I mean, this is going to be quite an electric scene in winter in 2 nights.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know a lot of students are excited. I know that they get out of school early so that they can come watch us play, and it's just, you can feel the excitement around school. We're really getting hot at the right time and think that we have a chance to beat any team in the state right now.
All right, Gabe, way to go this year. We're all for you Friday night. Thank you. That's Gabe Reeve. Let's now talk to Reeve Ross. Reeve, always great to have a chance to talk with you. Last time we had you on the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network, it was Meet the Cavaliers. We're now at that time of the season. We don't need any pieces of paper, don't need any questionnaires. It's just time to play football again. I do want to go back to that last drive. That catch you made inside the 10 really set up a winning touchdown. I mean, you've made a lot of great catches over the last 2 seasons, but take us through that play with Noah as you ran that out route on the sideline.
Well, I mean, I knew early in the game I was getting pressed pretty hard on the line of scrimmage. Couldn't get around my guy much. I knew we needed a big play downfield, so I stemmed my guy inside and just released out and had trust to know that the ball was going to be there and trusted myself that I could make the catch, and I guess I did.
So did you have 2 feet down, 1 feet in bounds? I couldn't tell. There were guys in front of me where I was at.
I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure about that.
It was tight, but you made it stick, and the side judge was sure you had a foot down, and that's all that counts in high school football. So This year has been a breakthrough season for you as far as containment and really being a disruptive force on the edge. When you look at that MVP offense, it's essentially the same offense that you will go up against on Friday night, because the head coach for Mount Vernon Blankington, Brett Olson, is the brother of the head coach of Winter, Trent Olson. They're like the Harbaugh brothers of high school football coaching. And it's about the same set. When MVP lined up a pair of like two tight ends and really stacked the edge, talk about how you combat that and confronted that, and talk about the challenges, because I think we could very well see a lot of that on Friday.
Well, I just know going into the game, Coach G always tells us, not every play is ours to make, so we just have to stay within ourselves. And my objective is to just not let anyone outside of me. So if my guy slides down, I just de-hip and slant with him, or go. Just as long as I'm on the outside, it should be fine. And I know I got Dawson right behind me to clean up anything I miss. So just trusting in one another and getting through.
You bet. We're talking with Reeve Ross. Reeve, everyone remembers your older sister, Reese. She was able to win a state championship. Now the football team's 2 wins away from winning it all. Does she have anything that she kind of shares going into a game like this? Have you talked?
Seen those teams early on, and then like Coach Hagan always preached, it's hard to beat the same team twice, and that was exactly what happened in MVP. So yeah, I think it was a good challenge, and we stepped up to it and got a feel for real football and postseason football. So
well, and you're going to see that in spades tomorrow night or on Friday night with Winter. They've had, I think, 6, 7 perfect regular seasons in a row. They're kind of a machine. I mean, they're a lot deeper than a lot of opponents.
Yeah, we gotta step up to the challenge. It's obviously going to be a big one, and if we just play our game, and it's going to be a physical game, so we got to step up to that. But I think if we do the right things and don't have any turnovers and just work hard, I think we should be fine. So.
When you get into a really big game, a lot of times there's distractions. There's the energy, there's the atmosphere. You've been around that big-time atmosphere, I know, with post-22 baseball just as much as you have as a Cavalier football player. And, the other team, they're not like exactly welcoming you with open arms.
Yeah.
This is going to be the most hostile environment as a senior to keep the team penalty-free, playing a clean game. That's huge.
Yeah, we just got to keep our heads, and everybody's got to stick to their assignment. they've been preaching assignment football this week, and if everybody does their job and, D-line and everybody just does their job, we should have a pretty good game. So it'll be exciting to see.
I'm going to throw out, Dawson, the name of Ryan Negebauer. I call him the fire hydrant because I've seen so many plays where somebody thinks they're about ready to hit the second level on a run or maybe a sweep, and then Ryan he's just like a fire hydrant. It's like boop, they just run into Ryan and it's over.
Yeah.
I have a hunch he's going to have to play that role on Friday night.
Yeah, Ryan, he's kind of our cleanup guy in the back there, so he just kind of stops any runs that are leaking through or whatever, and him and Juvie do a pretty good darn job of that. So
they sure do. Anything you want to tell the fans on behalf of the team here as they're watching this preview show and getting ready to go?
Yeah, just come out to Winter. Excited to see you guys put on a show, so it'll be good.
It's worth the 3-hour drive. You will be glad you came, that's for sure. Hey, Reeve, Gabe, Dawson, you guys are awesome. Thank you for bringing us this far to the Final Four with your leadership, your contributions, playing both ways. You guys are awesome, and you have left a legacy not only for this season, but the junior class when they become seniors next year. Have a blast and have fun, and just go get them. Go get them,
Thank you.
guys.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. That's Reeve Ross and Dawson Inhofer, Gabe Reeve. You guys are great. Now we have a special treat for you. I think I'm gonna bring Tracy Stamper up. No, you don't want to come on? Okay, well, we're gonna bring the cheer team up, and we are going to get in the spirit. Our very own technical director, Braden Strain, is going to film the pride of all St. Thomas More, their Lady Cavs cheer team. I don't have my list of who all the cheer team members are in front of me at this moment. We'll recognize them, I think, when we're finished here. I'm going to step away, and we will watch St. Thomas More's senior cheerleaders get us ready to go for game time. One of you ladies want to come up and talk real quick? Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Okay, well, Tegan, we're happy to have you along with us here. And let's go ahead and recognize your senior teammates first that just gave us that performance.
Yeah, we've had a really good season this year. My team and I have had a lot of fun on the sidelines. My other seniors are Kat Kirkenbush and Alana McFarling and Virginia Tubont, and I love them very much.
Well,
they did a lot of fun.
They did a great job. I could have done just an interview show, and I said, no. This game needs everything. We need the spirit. We need the cheer. And, you know, the sideline, I mean, the fun that everybody has in the stands, it's real. And your cheer team, congratulations on the third place finish. And just thanks for the memories. Everybody just loves football Friday night, or as we had many times this year, a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, no, we love it too. We have a lot of fun getting involved with the crowd. We have some crowd favorite cheers that we do a lot, and we're really excited to go to winter. We came to Mount Vernon last week. It was a lot of fun. We had a small but mighty crowd. We're hoping that more people come out this week.
I think you're going to have a large and mighty crowd on
yes,
Friday
with our
night.
spirit bus.
It's going to be amazing. And, you know, as a senior, this has to be really special because reaching the Final Four hasn't happened in a bunch of years. I mean, it's really awesome what's going on right now.
Yeah, it is really awesome. I've been cheering since I was in 6th grade, so to be a senior and have the opportunity to be this close to the Dome is pretty awesome. We haven't seen a season like this in a long time, so it's just been pretty crazy energy in the crowd all year. All the shutout games that we had were really exciting, and being a cheerleader for a team like this is really special.
Well, Tegan, thank you for being with us, and have fun on Friday night. That's Tegan. We are happy to have you with us. What a great treat that was. The STM cheer team seniors getting us pumped up and ready for Friday night. Now let's bring on our head coach, the birthday man, Austin Hagan, and we have a special song here. The cheer team is going to sing Happy Birthday to Coach. Yeah, that's what your coach said. Yeah, let's get the mic. Oh, right here's good. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're good.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I bet you never had that on your birthday before, Coach.
No, no.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You know, this is the time of year when if you're playing football in November, you have to have a great football team and you have to have a great football season. Congratulations,
Thank
Coach.
you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been an awesome season. You know, the boys have stayed true to what our standard is and what we teach and what we preach. The seniors you saw earlier are great leaders and examples of that. They set the tone from, you know, the start of the year to the point we're at now. I can't thank them enough for that. And we are a good football team. Very, very pleased for what I've seen so far this year. We've progressed every single week, which is a hard thing to do. We haven't taken a step backwards, and I think that has gotten us to the point where we are at now.
And that is a key part to be able to reach the Final Four. The team that you defeated, the Mount Vernon Plankington Titans on Halloween night, that was a number 4 ranked team in the state. That was a team that played a rigorous schedule, and that was a team that was not only at home but had a 9-point lead with 5 minutes to play. I mean, to dig deep and find a way with that level of challenge and that set of adversity, I mean, it's really beyond my description or vocabulary to talk anymore about that. It was impressive.
Yeah, no, you know, that's a good football team we played. Like you said, they went through the gauntlet of a schedule being over there at East River in a, you know, kind of a powerhouse area for football. They're talented. They're very well coached. And we saw them before. And I think the biggest takeaway from the first game when we played them is our team got to see that we could play with those teams. We could beat those teams. They got a lot of confidence from that game, learned from it, gained a ton of great experience. they're ready to roll the second time around.
So we're looking ahead to this big game on Friday night. I was talking with someone who's been around the program a couple years ago, and they told me that back in the day, long before you and I got around the program, starting in 2020, St. Thomas More had a road playoff game against Winter, and there was this big sign, and it said, "No Saint, no Tommy, no More." And, I mean, man, that just makes me want to play this game when I think about that story.
Yeah, they're a great football program. They're a perennial powerhouse for a reason. Very well coached, big, physical, fast. They got really good speed as well to match with that. There's no love lost between the two programs. I know the two programs have a ton of respect for each other.
Yeah, they do.
But it kind of has that feel of like an in-season rivalry game, not so much the postseason. Like I said, yeah, there's no love lost. They're a great football program. I think we have a pretty darn good team as well, and should be a fun one Friday night in Winter.
And it's been 3 years since the two teams played one another. In fact, I don't know if any of the three seniors that we just talked to were even on the field in that game. It's been a while since we've had that confrontation among, I believe, the two most successful programs west of the Missouri River here in the 20th century.
Yeah,
21st century, I should say.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, none of the seniors we had them. Like I said, it's a unique group. They're all new to us in some sort of way, and it's just a testament to their personalities, their ability, how coachable they are. They bought into what we taught and what we coached right away. And like I said, I can keep saying it a ton of times. Can't thank them enough. They've been tremendous. But yeah, none of them have seen Winter yet, and I think that's also a good thing. These guys know they can play with anybody in the state, and there's no expectation. They don't know who Winter is. They're just another obstacle in our way.
So let's talk about what we're talking about on the defensive side of the ball. Coach Craig Nowotny always does a tremendous job on the defensive side of the football as defensive coordinator. This year, 5 straight shutouts, just an outstanding job as always. I always ask myself the same question with the Coach Nowotny defense, and that is, how can you bring that much pressure and never give up the big play? This is a different kind of team. I mean, this is a team that has been known to go an entire game and not even pass the ball one time in a game. I mean, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I think Gabe said it best earlier. We've seen very heavy run teams. You look at Chamberlain, very heavy run. I think they tried to throw it 3 times. You go to the first week of this season against Sioux Valley, they maybe try to throw the ball 2 times. And then MVP. Are those teams we saw as good as Winter? I don't know. MVP's pretty darn good. They had a close game, and Sioux Valley's a heck of a football team. But we are accustomed to it. Schematically, like I always say, I have the best coaching staff in the state. I
don't even think that's debatable.
Yeah, I truly believe that. The things that they can scheme up, and then just how they coach it, right? You can scheme up the perfect game plan, but if you can't coach it to your players, then it's not really going to benefit you or your team. And just like I said, we have an awesome staff. The individual stuff on the defensive side with the linebackers and the corners and our D-line. And then just how receptive they are. Like I said, they're very coachable, and I think the biggest thing with this team this year is how fast they play.
Yeah.
And it's not just their God-given speed. It's they understand the scheme. They understand the assignment. They've been coached up on it, and that allows them to play free and fast. And that's a dangerous defense to go against.
Absolutely. Let's talk about what Winter likes to do. They obviously want to run the football between the tackles, but they are also very effective at running on the edge. I've been impressed in recent weeks with the play of Ryan Negebauer and Graydon Juvie. Those are 2 players that I think sometimes they don't get picked up by the pulling guard. They don't get picked up by the tight end. And before you know it, they make a stop. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart to stand in there when you got a guy coming at you that's 290 or more,
right?
And he's going downhill, and you're maybe half the size of that player to stick your nose in there and do what has to be done. But you talked, Coach, before and after the game last week at Mount Vernon that your team is answering your challenge to them, which is what are you willing to do?
Yeah, and that's kind of become our motto this year. It's not about what we're capable of. There's only one person that knows what we're capable of, and that's the man upstairs. No matter how well you prepare, no matter how well you coach your guys, no matter how hard they work, it's not going to come down to what we're capable of. We're a good football team. We're capable of a lot. But what are you willing to do each play, each quarter, each series to get the job done? And I think that's, our game against MVP was a testament to that. There's no quit in this team. There's no fear in this team. And they love football. You talk about Ryan and Judy.
They love it.
Yeah, and those two, they'll stop stuff. They're small enough to squeeze down, make plays. They got a nose for the football. And we always tell them, hey, defense is the easy part. Find the football, stop the football.
Yeah, we're talking with head coach Austin Hagen on his birthday. We celebrated his birthday a few minutes ago.
Okay.
So, Coach, I've been around some communities like Smith Center, Kansas, Cokeville, Wyoming, and McCook, Nebraska. And these are communities, to the average fan, they're like, what are you even talking about? What are those towns? Those towns are hardcore football towns. You almost expect when you open the small town newspaper in those towns that it's going to list the height of the baby, the weight of the baby, and then what position they're going to play in 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how hardcore
right.
these football towns. Winter, South Dakota is one of those towns.
Without
We're
a doubt.
playing for a trip to the Dome.
Yeah.
This is as big of a game that can even be played in a given season in any place, let alone winter.
Mm-hmm.
This environment is just going to be crazy Friday.
Yeah, they're, like I said earlier, they're a perennial powerhouse, and there's a reason for it. They got a great community. They have great coaches. They got great athletes. You have a culmination of those things. You're going to have a pretty good success, and they do, and they I know they will continue to do those things. And the environment, it's going to be rocking. It's going to be, and I don't want to say sold out, but you know how those towns are.
It's just going to be
semifinal.
Standing room only, about the whole hill probably covered with people, that kind of thing.
The community will shut down. Everybody will be out there to support their home Winter Warriors, and I've been impressed with our fans. How well
fans.
We have traveled all year long. You open up 2 games on the road going back East River, and then you got to go to Groton, which is a long way, and just the support from the community and the backing they have, and so it's going to be a rocking atmosphere on Friday night, and that's why you do these things.
That's
why
right.
you play the game, and I know a lot of the boys got asked, were you stressed? Were you anxious? Were you freaked out in the game on Friday or last Thursday night? And I know I got the same question a lot. And no, you're a competitor. That's where you thrive, right?
Yeah.
And the environment's going to be awesome. I'm going to tell the boys, soak it in. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be rocking pregame. And then when kickoff starts and that whistle blows, it's going to be smash mouth football. And all the fans are in for a real treat.
So this is your second year at the helm as head coach. You've worked with a number of these players the last couple years as an assistant before becoming a head coach. You knew things were building to this point, and you guys have just put in the work. You put in the sacrifice to get here. You grew up the son of a head coach. I mean, this has to almost kind of give you almost chills or whatever, because you remember your dad getting ready for games like this.
All the time, and it was a blessing to be able to grow up that way and ride the bus and see a high school team and be in the locker room and be at practice. And that's where I really got my appreciation for coaching, because, it's not for everybody. It's rarely about the X's and O's.
Yeah.
If you coach football at any level, you're probably already pretty good at that. It's the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, right? There's just so much that goes into it, and like you said, the hard work. And a lot of people don't see what the players do, except for on Friday night.
They're just seeing the finished product.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But just so much goes into it. The sacrifice from the parents, from our faculty, kids being gone, them going the extra mile to make sure they get their work turned in. The weight room stuff, the summer workouts when it's hot and humid and you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's also worth it, and that's why you do it, right? It's that preparation, and to get to the point where we're at in the season now, we set goals. We want to win the Black Hills Conference, and we wanted to go to the Dome, and it's not a thing that we just say.
No,
the work that goes into it, and we know it'll come to fruition at some point in time if we do the necessary things to be able to get to that point.
Well, Coach Austin Hagen, it has been a privilege and pleasure being along for the ride to this point. I can't imagine what it's going to be like Friday night. I'm so glad that you agreed to join us and be a part of our Final Four preview show. This game was, for me, it was just too big not to have its own show.
Right.
Thank you to your seniors, Reeve, Gabe, and Dawson for making the time, and all the best, and we'll see you in winter on Friday.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. That's head coach Austin Hagan. And now we bring in our special guest, Chief Banking Officer from Security First Bank, Marnie Herman. And Marnie, it's great to see you. And I'll tell the story as before we talk about Security First Bank and what they mean to St. Thomas More High School. But one of the first times I ever had a chance to see you, you were at a state basketball tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like whenever there's big games, we just have to have Marnie around.
Oh, geez. Well, we're definitely. I'm a huge sports fan. Our whole family's, been active in sports for generations, and there's really nothing like a high school sporting event. Truly, I loved today seeing these young people striving to do their very best and in support of their school. And it's just going to be great fun. And so it's fun to be part of that whole mix.
Well, it's so great to have you here and to have Security First Bank be at the center of what we do. And we started our Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network a few years ago. It was during COVID. Mm-hmm. We had the challenge as a school to try to make sure that we had all the games so that fans could see every game, not just listen in or see a big game once in a while. And this network, I think, has just been a blessing for the students, the parents. And we live in a world now, you have a lot of like aunts and uncles that maybe are in other states, and this keeps everyone together, able to watch these kids' games. I just want to say on behalf of all of us how much we appreciate and want to say thank you to Security First Bank's commitment to what we're able to do here.
Well, it's our privilege and our pleasure to support that. We have banks in towns large and small across Southwest South Dakota and all of Nebraska, and we get it that as the school goes, so goes the community, and that applies for the smallest of communities, and it applies for larger communities like Rapid City. And you're exactly right. Grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, cousins. You can't always make all the games, but you sure want to. And through the miracle of modern technology and then great broadcasters like you and your team with Braden and the resources that the school puts behind coverage, that just builds that community, keeps the families closer, and everybody can celebrate together. And, sometimes you got to take the loss too, hopefully.
But you grow from that. Look at this team. They lost their first two games.
That's right.
And they grew from it, and now they're playing for a chance to go to the Dome.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, resilience.
Yes.
Never give up, and, just do your best every time and hopefully come out on top.
When people now come into the gymnasium, it is the Security First Bank Court of Champions. Talk about what it means as Chief Banking Officer for Security First Bank to actually be able to invest in and be a part of the gym.
Sure. Well, we appreciated the opportunity that the school brought to us. We talk in marketing a lot about the editorial environment, right? And what better environment to have your brand represented than a gym, honestly. Or the football field, or any other place where the community comes together to support their youth, support their educational institution, and just go and have a great time. So we're thrilled to be a part of that. We're thrilled to be able to provide that kind of support to St. Thomas More and the Cavaliers. And again, we thank you for the opportunity, and it's a win-win. Right?
It is a win-win. Marnie Herman, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Marnie Herman joining us here as we come to a close of our Final Four preview show. We want to thank Marnie. We want to thank our great cheer team. We want to thank our football seniors, Gabe, Reeve, and Dawson. I want to thank our technical director, Braden Strain, and I want to make sure I give a big thank you to our head football coach, Austin Hagan, as well as our award-winning cheer coach, Tracy Stamper, for helping bring this show together. Now, I have a challenge for all of you. That is, if you have the time, please go to Winter. We want you there. We want you loud. The Cavs truly do, when they go on the road especially, feed off the crowd. We would love to see as big a group of Cavs fans as possible in Winter, South Dakota on Friday night. And if you're enjoying our program, share this link, share it with other Cavs fans. We want as many Cavaliers fans as possible to be able to get ready for this big game on Friday night. For our technical director, Braden Strain, this is Mike Fell saying thanks for watching, and I will talk to you at 4:40 on Friday afternoon, Mountain Time, with kickoff set for 5, and we will bring you the biggest football game, perhaps one of the biggest sporting events we've ever presented here on the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network. The Cavs and the Warriors play for a trip to the Dome. The two most successful football programs west of the Missouri River in the state of South Dakota collide for the first time in 3 years. We'll have the game for you on Friday night. Thanks for watching, and go Cavs!